Tama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Nashtaprayeshvabhadresho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 11, Lord Ramachandra rules the world. Text number 26. Asikta Margam Gandhodai Asikta Margam Gandhodai Asikta Margam Gandhodai Karinam Mada Shikarai Karinam Madashikarai Karinam Madashikarai Swaminam Praptam Alokya Swaminam Praptam Alokya Swaminam Praptam Alokya Mattam Va Sutara Iva Mattam Va Sutaram Iva Mattam Va Sutaram Iva Asiktamargam Gandhodai Karinam Madashikarai Swaminam Praptamalokya Mattam Va Sutaram Iva. Asiktamargam Gandhodai Karinam Madashikarai Swaminam Praptamalokya Mattam Va Sutaram Iva. Asiktamargam Gandhodai Karinam Madashikarai Swaminam Praptamalokya Mattam Va Sutaram Iva. Asiktamargam. The streets were sprinkled. Gandha Udai with perfumed water. Karina of elephants. Madashikarai with particles of perfumed liquor. Swaminam, the master or proprietor. Praptam, present. Alokya, seeing personally. Mattam, very opulent. Va, either. Sutara, highly. Iva, as if. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. During the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the streets of the capital Ayodhya were sprinkled with perfumed water and drops of perfumed liquor. thrown about by elephants from their trunks. When the citizens saw the Lord personally supervising the affairs of the city in such opulence, they appreciated this opulence very much. Please repeat this translation after me. During the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the streets of the capital, Ayodhya, were sprinkled with perfumed water and drops of perfumed liquor thrown about by elephants from their trunks. When the citizens saw the Lord personally supervising the affairs of the city in such opulence, they appreciated this opulence very much. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. We have simply heard about the opulence of Ramarajya during the reign of Lord Ramachandra. Now, here is one example of the opulence of the Lord's kingdom. The streets of Ayodhya were not only cleaned, but also sprinkled with perfumed water and drops of perfumed liquor, which were distributed by elephants through their trunks. There was no need of sprinkling machines, for the elephant has a natural ability to suck water through its trunk and again throw it out in a shower. We can understand the opulence of the city from this one example. It was actually sprinkled with perfumed water. Moreover, the citizens had the opportunity to see the Lord personally supervising the affairs of the state. He was not a sleeping monarch, as we can understand from his activities in sending his brothers to see to affairs outside the capital and punish anyone who did not obey the emperor's orders. This is called Digvijaya. The citizens were all given facilities for peaceful life, and they were also qualified with appropriate attributes according to Varnashrama. As we have seen from the previous chapter, Varnashrama Gunanvitaha, the citizens were trained according to the Varnashrama system. A class of men were Brahmanas, a class of men were Kshatriyas, a class were Vaishyas, and a class were Shudras. Without this scientific division, there can be no question of good citizenship. The king, being magnanimous and perfect in his duty, performed many sacrifices and treated the citizens as his sons. And the citizens, being trained in the Varnashrama system, were obedient and perfectly ordered. The entire monarchy was so opulent and peaceful that the government was even able to sprinkle the street with perfumed water, what to speak of other management. Since the city was sprinkled with perfumed water, we can simply imagine how opulent it was in other respects. Why should the citizens not have felt happy during the reign of Lord Ramachandra? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this verse very nicely describes the opulence of the kingdom of Lord Rama when Lord Rama was ruling the world with his capital as Ayodhya. The example is generally given Ramarajya. Just after independence, there was one party called Ramarajya Party. They were also participating in this democratic system and asking people to give them votes so that if they come to power, they will follow the system that was established by Lord Ramachandra in ruling this country. Actually, the scriptures are perfectly describing an ideal system of administration, and this ideal system was demonstrated by Lord Rama. Of course, Lord Rama is the Supreme Lord himself, so it's very easy for him to establish this ideal system as he has described in the scriptures. The scriptures are given by the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord himself demonstrates when he comes to this world. Now, not only that, when Supreme Lord was ruling, it was possible to witness this ideal system of administration, even when his devotees ruling. Just like the Mahabharata describes, when Yudhishthira was ruling, it was perfect administration. Everything was there in full opulence. How is it possible that there is so much opulence when the king rules according to the scriptural directions, according to directions of the Supreme Lord? That is explained in detail by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. That the whole society is divided into four divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And this is explained in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. This division has to be done not according to the birth in a particular family, but according to the acquired quality or nature of the people. According to their acquired nature, people will have certain aptitude, and they can work very naturally, very easily, very nicely if they are engaged according to their aptitude. So, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, it is described, Varnashrama Gunanvitaha. The citizens were trained according to the Varnashrama system. So, the division according to the Varna is based on their quality. And the training is also given according to their quality. So when they are trained up and they work according to their aptitude, then people will be working very efficiently and very peacefully. Now, the people working, what should be their goal for working? The modern system is you work for earning money. Economic development is the goal of people working. But in the Vedic culture, according to the Bhagavad Gita, economic development should not be the goal of people working. Economic development should not be the goal. Because everybody is endowed with certain amount of wealth according to their karma. That's a law of material nature. So whatever their karma may be, they are given or they are endowed with wealth exactly according to their karma. And even now we see this, that even though people are encouraged to work hard to earn money, but not everybody who is working hard is able to earn money proportionate to their work. There are so many people who are working very sincerely, very nicely, but they are poor. And even the government is baffled that whatever schemes they come up with for people to improve their standard of living according to the money they earn by their honest labor, the end result is the poor are becoming poorer and the rich are becoming richer. This is seen everywhere in the world. Even in an artificial equality system called communism, what is the result of communism? Ultimately, there is always a class of rich people and there are a class of middle category wealth people, and there are poor section of people. And this is always true. This has always been true. Because people have different karma. So exactly according to their karma, whatever work they may do, however hard they may work, however much the government may encourage them to earn more, but ultimately the law of material nature states that the people can get wealth only as much as their karma permits. So then what is the way out? That people should get at least their basic necessities. Now that is provided by the arrangement of the Supreme Lord, that everybody will get their basic needs if they simply do their duties according to the Varnashrama system. The Supreme Lord will provide through material nature everybody with all their needs. And how much can the Supreme Lord give? He can give unlimitedly because He is unlimitedly opulent. Only He is unlimitedly opulent. Only He can give. Nobody else can give. Like even during this pandemic, we heard many instances of some rich philanthropic people. Naturally, they felt compassion upon suffering souls, and they donated huge amounts of money for helping people to get at least their basic needs. But does that mean that if rich people donate, then the poverty can be completely eliminated? No. Poverty elimination is not possible by man-made methods or systems. Poverty elimination is possible only by following the God-given system, Varnashrama system. First of all, the defect is in the modern society that there is no scientific classification of the people. There is no scientific classification. Simply everybody is sent to some so-called primary education system, schooling, and then the children struggle. Some of them who are not having the aptitude or the ability, they struggle, and then finally they are considered not good for whatever system the schooling is preparing them. Then they say, okay, you do some vocational training. Not that the vocational training is given in a dignified way, because you are not able to come up to the standard that is expected by the schooling system. So then you do something else. Somehow you learn something so they can earn a livelihood. But that is not the way the Varnashrama system trains people. Everybody is given dignified training according to their aptitude. Please understand this point very carefully. People criticize the Varnashrama system as a caste system. Actually, this caste system is the degradation of the society. Is due to degradation of society. Is due to improper application of the scriptural principles. In the Varnashrama system, when the society is divided according to people's guna, naturally they can be very easily trained properly because they will have that aptitude according to their guna. According to their quality, they will have the aptitude. And once they are trained that way, they'll very easily work, very efficiently. They perform their work very nicely. And as far as getting their livelihood, that is guaranteed by the system of administration. That is guaranteed. Everybody gets their basic needs, irrespective of what kind of work they do. Everybody gets their needs. There is plenty. There is no scarcity. Just like when Lord Krishna entered Dwaraka, how was he received? He was received very, very affectionately by all the citizens. Because according to the Varnashrama system or the Vedic culture, the king is the father of all the citizens. He treats all the citizens as his own sons. So if that is the kind of relationship, then what is surprising that all the citizens very affectionately come to receive the king when the king comes back after touring. And he's gone outside the city and he comes back, he returns. They're all very happy to receive him. And they're coming with gifts and presentations to receive him. Everyone is coming with gifts and presentations. Now, how can poor people come with some present for the king? No, as far as giving presentation is concerned, according to the Vedic culture, fruits, flowers, grains, and natural produce, they are in plenty. How are they in plenty? Because the king performs sacrifices by which the Supreme Lord is pleased, and He directs material nature to produce everything in plenty. Grains cannot be manufactured in factories, man-made factories. Grains are produced only by material nature, under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate characharam. Material nature cannot be controlled by human beings. Material nature is always under the control of the Supreme Lord. So material nature will produce according to the sacrifice performed. This is also explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. If there is proper rainfall, then there is proper production of grains. And proper rainfall is possible only if people perform yajna, sacrifice. Now, for people to perform sacrifice, their leader has to teach by example, by personally doing so. So the king has to do sacrifice first of all. And then the citizens will do sacrifice in terms of performing their duties. Yajna karma samudbhavaha. What is the yajna for the citizens? Yajna for the citizens is to do their prescribed duty. Not that everybody will light one sacrificial fire and everybody will have one priest and everybody will offer something into fire. No, that is not the citizen sacrifice. The citizen sacrifice is yajna karma samudbhavaha. Performing their prescribed duties, yajna for the citizens. Now yajna also means worship of the Supreme Lord by performing one's duty. Now this understanding is lacking in modern society. What is people's understanding of sacrifice? They only think of fire sacrifice. And the atheists criticize that you are wasting, burning away valuable grain which can be used to feed the poor people who are not having sufficient grains even to get 2 square meals a day. So that is not the sacrifice that is recommended in the scriptures for the common people. For the common people, the recommended sacrifice is perform your prescribed duty. And prescribed duty doesn't mean that I assume what is my duty and accordingly I work. No. Prescribed. Prescribed means where is it prescribed? Who prescribes it? The scriptures prescribed it. Prescribe the duties. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. The prescribed duties are given in the Vedic scriptures, in the Vedas. And who has actually given the Vedas? Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam. The Vedas are given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is called Akshara Brahma. Brahmakshara samudbhavam. What is the next line? Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishtitam. Therefore, the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in all acts of sacrifice. All acts of sacrifice, he is present. That means, the sacrifice means doing any activity for pleasing the Supreme Lord. So how can somebody doing their duty please the Supreme Lord? By simply doing their duty. Because the Supreme Lord is present in all acts of sacrifice. So work becomes sacrifice if it is performed according to the scriptural directions. One performs one's duty, and that duty also is not performed, work is not done for economic development. It is done for worship of the Supreme Lord by the result of one's work. Now that is explained in the 18th chapter. In the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says that everyone is under the influence of the gunas. Everyone is under the influence of the gunas. So according to their acquired nature, some people are predominantly in the mode of goodness. So they are classified as sattvic people. Because this influence of the gunas is such that everybody is influenced by all the three gunas. There is no pure goodness or pure passion or pure ignorance in this material world. The three gunas are acting and influencing everyone. But according to their nature, acquired nature, swabhava, some people are predominantly influenced by goodness. They are called brahmanas. So they should work according to the prescription meant for brahmanas. So in the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna describes that everyone is under the influence of the gunas, and therefore everyone has to follow the scriptural directions how they have to work. Nada tadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakritijair muktam yadebhi syat tribhir gunaihi. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems who is freed from the three modes of material nature. Everybody is under the influence. Even the devatas, they are also under the influence of the gunas. Therefore, Lord Krishna describes Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Shudranam Cha Parantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavair Gunaihi. Because people are influenced by the three gunas, everyone, the four divisions of people in the society are distinguished by their qualities of work. Karmani pravibhaktani. Society has to be divided according to the quality of the people, and they have to perform work according to the recommendation of the scriptures. And the scriptures also recommend according to their quality. And then Krishna describes how brahmanas should work by the qualities that they have naturally got. Shamo damas tapaschaucham kshantirarjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. Naturally, brahmanas are having these qualities because of sattva guna. Because sattva guna, they are naturally peaceful. They are controlled in their senses, in their mind, in their they are tolerant, they are knowledgeable in the Vedas, and they are able to apply the Vedic principles themselves and also guide others how to apply the Vedic principles. Like that. So they work by those qualities, and therefore their duties are to perform the Brahmanical activities of themselves worshipping the Lord and directing others how to worship the Lord. They themselves should be conversant with the Vedic knowledge, and they should teach others the relevant portions of the Vedas to the other sections of society. So like this, Brahmanas work by their qualities, Kshatriyas work by their qualities, Vaishyas work by their qualities, Shudras work by their qualities. And ultimately, the goal of performing their duties or working is not simply earning money, which is a natural byproduct of doing their work. Some earning is there. Some result will be there when they do work according to their nature, according to their quality, according to the prescription. Some economic development will be there, definitely. But the goal is not economic development of the entire society. The goal is something else. It is said here by Krishna, after describing these qualities by which different divisions of people work. He says, Sve sve karmani abhirataha samsiddhim labate naraha. Simply by doing work according to their quality, every man can become perfect. Not only Brahmanas, not only some people, every man can become perfect. Swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tatshunu. Now please hear from me how this can be done. How is it possible? Everybody can become perfect by doing their own prescribed duties. For that, Krishna says, what is required to be done by everyone is Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. So, there will be some result of the work people do, and that result should be employed for worshipping the Lord. Then the work becomes sacrifice. First point is, sacrifice means to perform prescribed duty. Prescribed duties prescribed in the Vedas. The Vedas are prescribing duties according to people's nature, acquired nature. And accordingly the society is divided according to their nature. And then they're trained up and they have to do their duty, the work. Now when they do work, there is some result. What should they do with the result? By the result of their work, they have to worship the Supreme Lord. This is common for everyone. This is common for everyone. Now, how do they worship the Lord? Exactly what do they do to worship the Lord by the result of their work? That is further described here. Before Krishna further describes how they have to worship the Lord by the result of their work. Now also, why worship the Lord? Why not somebody else? There are so many demigods, there are so many respectable personalities. But by the result of their work, they had to worship the Supreme Lord. Now the Supreme Lord is described here as all-pervading. This is already explained in the 3rd chapter. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagne pratishtitam. Now the Lord is all-pervading by His presence as Paramatma. He has entered into everyone's heart. He has entered into every atom, matter and spirit. He is all-pervading. He has entered into everything. Therefore, His name is Vishnu. Why is he called Vishnu? One of the reasons he's called Vishnu is because he has entered into everything. Vishati means to enter. Vishnu is one who has entered into everything. Only the Supreme Lord can enter everywhere and everything. Nobody else can do that. A yogi may assume a very, 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 very tiny form and enter into one person's heart. But a yogi cannot enter everybody's heart by his yogic siddhi. That siddhi is only for the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Vishnu can enter everyone's heart, and he does enter everyone's heart in this material world. So he is sitting in everyone's heart and he is ready to accept your offering of the result of your activity. You work according to his direction given in the scriptures, and the result of your work you offer to him. So how do you offer to him? By worshipping him. By worshipping him. And he is designated here as all-pervading. He is present everywhere. And he is also described here, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam. He is the source of all beings. He is the source of all beings. So he only is the source of everyone, and he is also the source of everything. So you should understand that if you do some work, it is because the facility to work is given by the Supreme Lord, who has created everything in existence. Even our own body, who has created our body? Krishna has created our body. Of course, he has done it by arrangement through material nature. Material nature is his. We take birth in the mother's womb. The mother's womb, who has arranged that the body is formed according to certain higher arrangement? Are we doing anything? That a child has to get a body. Of course, everyone is spirit soul. There is no production or creation of spirit soul. The spirit soul enters the mother's womb through the father. Now, after the soul takes shelter of the mother's womb, by Krishna's arrangement, the mother eats whatever the mother eats. A portion of whatever the mother eats is nourishing the child which is developing the body in the womb. This is higher arrangement. No technology is available that a portion of the mother's food has to go to form different kinds of tissues, to develop different kinds of cells, to form different parts of the body. Medical science, they analyze, there are 200 kinds of cells in this body. The bones are made of one kind of tissue or cells. The skin is made of another kind of tissue. The flesh is made of another kind of tissue. The cartilage is made of another kind of tissue. There are ligaments and there are so many descriptions are there in the medical science. How the same food that we eat is nourishing every part of this body? How is it possible? The same food. We don't eat separately for developing bones. We don't eat one kind of food. Though the medical science, they say calcium is important for having strong bones. But that is their imperfect analysis. Because they analyze the chemical composition of the bone and say bone is predominantly calcium. So you eat more calcium. You require more calcium in your food to develop strong bones. But that is an imperfect analysis. That's an imperfect analysis. The real understanding is whatever food we eat is converted into the nutrition in the form of blood. And that blood is circulating in all parts of the body and providing the necessary nutrients to every cell. This is the truth. This is the fact. This is the fact. So, whatever nutrition each cell requires, it's taking from the blood when the blood flows throughout the body. So, accordingly, the cell is getting the nutrition. So, that is the real system. And who has made this system? That is made by Krishna, according to higher arrangement. So, similarly, even our hands, our legs is given by Krishna through arrangement. So if we are using our hands for working, and even the ability to use the hand, who is giving that ability? Simply having a hand is not enough. Some skill is required, no? A potter requires certain kind of skill. An artist requires another kind of skill. A machine operator requires another kind of skill. A driver requires another kind of skill. All are using their hand for doing their work. And if they are doing so nicely, who is to be praised? The Supreme Lord, who has given the hand. After giving the hand, He has also given the skill. This is explained in the Bhagavatam. At the beginning of creation, Brahma was given the ingredients for the creation. He is given the knowledge about how to create, and he was given the skills to actually do the creation. It is just like somebody has got a recipe book. It tells how to prepare a certain item. Then they may go and purchase the ingredients from the market or the shop. Okay. Now merely having that recipe book and getting the ingredients, can they prepare? They require the skill to combine everything. So, Krishna gives not only the ingredients and the instruments, but He also gives the skill for combining and preparing. So, Brahma was given the knowledge, he was given the ingredients, and he was also given the skill to combine. Jnana, Bala, Kriya. Jnana is the knowledge. Bala is the skill, and Kriya is the strength and the ability. And apart from that, Krishna anyway has given the ingredients. The ingredients. So all these are given by Krishna. So it is Krishna only who should actually be getting the result of the work we do. Krishna is entitled to the result of the work we do, because He has given the instruments, He has given the ability, He has given the ingredients. It's just like you call a carpenter home and you give him the wood, you give him the tools, you give him the place to work, everything, and after he prepares a nice table, can he say, I have worked so hard, now I have produced this table, I'll take the table and go away? He'll say, no, no, no. You cannot take the table and go. You are entitled only to your labor charges. That's all. You are entitled to your labor charges. The table belongs to me because I have given you the ingredients. I have given you the place to work. I have given you the design. Everything I have given you. Of course, this is not a perfect example. It's a crude example. But just to help us understand, in the case of we working, Krishna gives us the intelligence to work. He gives us the skill to work. He has given us the instruments, the senses, the working senses. He gives us the knowledge. And He gives us all the materials, all the raw materials, everything He gives. So who should get the result? Krishna should get the result. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita says, the result should be offered to Krishna. That is called worshipping the Lord. Worshipping the Lord is not just simply buy some flowers or get some flowers and just throw and say some mantra. That is not worship. Worship is something else. When it is said here, Swakarmana tamabhyarchya, worship the Lord by performing your own duties, by offering the results of your work to Him. So how do you do that? First of all, recognize that everything belongs to Krishna and therefore everything is Krishna's. This is the first step. Recognizing everything belongs to Krishna. And then, how do you actually offer the result to Krishna? By utilizing whatever is the result of your work in His service. Utilizing whatever you have got in His service. So, if a person is earning some money by the work he does, then by utilizing that money for Krishna's service. So part of Krishna's service is maintaining the family if he is a householder. So he has to maintain his family from the money he earns as a service to Krishna. Not with a false ego that I am the Lord, I am the Master, I am maintaining you because I am working hard for you. No, this is not the correct attitude. This is not a correct attitude. This is called ahankara, and this leads to degradation of the person. Whereas when one maintains the family with a proper understanding that I am working as directed by Krishna, I am doing my duty, and naturally there is a result of doing that work, and that result, what should I do? I should worship the Lord. How should I worship the Lord? By doing again the duty of maintaining my family, because I am a householder. Grihastha dharma. Grihastha dharma. So I have to provide for my wife and children, for my dependents, as a service to Krishna. Why? Why should I provide them? Because they are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. This is Krishna's arrangement. When the scriptures say Krishna maintains everybody, somebody will say, how do you say Krishna is maintaining me? My father is maintaining me, or my husband is maintaining me. That maintenance is also given by whom? By Krishna. And who has ordained this? It is Krishna who has ordained this in the scriptures. Your grihastha dharma is you have to provide for your wife and children, for your dependents. So there is a whole system given by the Supreme Lord, perfect system. Now if people follow this system, the result is described here. What was the situation during Lord Ramachandra's time? Because everybody was following. Beginning with the king himself. The first citizen, the king, as nowadays they say in democracy, president, the topmost person in the administration, he is the first citizen of the country. So by that definition, king is the first citizen in this Vedic monarchy system. So he himself is performing sacrifice. He himself is doing his duty of taking care of the citizens. And he's setting the example. Everybody, you have to do your duty. I am doing my duty, you have to do your duty. And he is providing the citizens as the king, making all arrangements for training them, dividing the society, training them, giving them occupation according to their guna karma, according to their skill and according to their quality. And then nature is producing because he is doing sacrifice. So there is plenty. Nobody is in want or scarcity. So when there is plenty, people are not so much worried about who has got how much. Everybody has got enough. As far as their pleasure is concerned or satisfaction is concerned, that pleasure or satisfaction is not by sense enjoyment. That is what the Bhagavad Gita says. In the 5th chapter, Krishna explains that yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. Whatever pleasure one may get by sense contact with sense objects, that is actually the source of all dukkha, the source of all miseries, all suffering, all distress. So real pleasure or real happiness, real satisfaction is in worship of the Lord, in devotional service. So a person should take satisfaction by working, because one is working according to the direction of Krishna. And then the result of that work should be utilized for worship of Krishna by actually doing the duties that is recommended by Krishna in the scriptures. Take satisfaction that you have performed your duty as regards working, as regards utilizing the result, as regards worshipping the Lord. And this satisfaction is real satisfaction. This satisfaction, real satisfaction. Even though we try to take satisfaction out of earning money, and then further satisfaction we try to take by employing that money for sense enjoyment. But we are actually not getting the real satisfaction we are looking for. Because ultimately we don't become really happy. Or if the happiness is there, it is momentary. Chapala sukha. So lasting happiness, real happiness, complete happiness, full satisfaction is only possible by following Krishna's directions in the Shastra. And that is what is being described here. The people appreciated the Supreme Lord personally supervising the affairs of the city in such opulence. And this opulence was very much satisfying to everyone. Everyone shares that opulence. It's not that only the king is very rich by his performing his duties. Everyone gets plenty. There is plenty of supply. Everyone is opulent. Everyone is happy. So further description will be there. How the citizens used to receive the Lord, how they used to live their life. That further description is there in the later verses. I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.